Hey guys, I'm back, and in this video I'm going to be doing Unmask Privilege Access in Azure, part of the MCRT series that I'm starting, the prep series or whatever. So yeah, before we begin, two things. Number one to note is that I'm no pro in Azure, I'm just a person learning Azure and I'm just going about it, and I'm almost like studying with you guys as well. So yeah, that is pretty much it there. And the other thing is that I've done this lab prior to making this video. So yeah, and I'll add some, key details on extra commands and ideas while we're doing this, so it's not just plain. And yeah, that is pretty much it. So yeah, let's start off with reading the scenario. As part of our pre-engagement reconnaissance, several Mega Big Tech employee profiles on LinkedIn were reviewed. One of their new employees, Matthias Lundgren, posted recently about his new role and office space. This caught the eye as there appeared to be a post-it note on the wall that had later been obfuscated. You are tasked with gaining initial access and demonstrating impact by increasing privileges. So first of all, let's start with finding the correct username format for this user. We can go ahead and use username anarchy to get a list of username formats. So let's see, op tools, perfect, it's right over here. So let me just remove emails, .txt, and run this command. Whoops, going a bit too far in. But yeah, we can run this command over here. And when we do cat email.txt, this is the list that we get. Now we can use a tool called O365 User Finder. Let me see over here, right here. O365 User Finder to check which of these emails is actually valid. And running this, we get this second hit to be correct, pretty much. And so now that we have the valid username, we can go ahead and download this resource. And in this resource, it pretty much shows us the file over here. And let's just open this. This picture. We can just zoom in. There's two ways of actually doing this. One is through this installed Windows Edit Picture Editor tool, pretty much. And the other one is GIMP, and I'm going to be showing both ways. So number one is we just zoom in like this, and we can go to edit over here, and oops, okay, yeah, we can just go to edit here, zoom in there, zoom in like this, and we can go ahead and just change the brightness to higher, change this and make it higher, and keep this a bit lower. And hopefully it's starting to paint a picture of what it is. Summer, and there's days, and there's one, and there's something else over here which seems to be an exclamation mark. Just save this option and save, or save as copy. Save this. And now that we have this, another feature that this tool has, which is pretty nice, is at the bottom it says scan text. So if you click this scan text, it automatically attempts to scan this, and we can just double click and copy and just paste this result over here. So summer, SUMU, whatever, we can pretty much assume that this is summer and this is days, and from the image it did look like this is a 1 and this exclamation mark. Another way we can do it is using GIMP. You can just do sudo apt install GIMP. I've already done that. And to run GIMP, just write GIMP. Let's get our image out. And we can first zoom in by doing view zoom at 400%. Let's go all the way here and go to the very top right here. And in colors we can choose levels, and here we can just increase this, and it'll start to paint out a picture right over here for you. And once you save it, you can also use an online tool called image to text, and you can drop the saved file or the saved image And I've already done that, so I'm just going to go ahead and already upload it. And we should get the text which says summer days. So a bit more accurate than the one that we had before. Summer days, and then 1, and then this from our own reviewing as well. I don't know if you guys can see, but there's a 1 and there's something else over here, but with a little dot here. But yeah. So we can probably assume that this user's password is this, and we can log into this. So I'm going to log in using this. Log in, let's take this, copy, paste. Alright, so the first thing we probably want to do is list out the resources. So we can go ahead and use this command, az resource list, and we find out that there is a virtual machine called automate in this resource group, and we can find more information about a virtual machine, some basic information. Not here. We can go to this section over here. Let's go ahead and copy this, paste it here, change this to 5, and put the name of this machine, which is automate. And it shows us quite a lot of information, like this operating system type is Linux. We see that there is a user named automation over here, and it's using an SSH key. This seems to be a public key, and over here the admin user is also automation, so the user's automation, and there's no password here. And assuming because of this path and this key over here, we're probably going to assume that this user uses a private key to access this virtual machine. Other things, yep, that is about it for this. Let's go ahead and log into the portal. And yep. And here we can see the resources. Click all resources to see all of them. We should only see this one, automate 01. And it doesn't give us any public IP which we could have scanned. But to get the same information as we got, you can go to this area over here and just click on JSON view. And yep, that is pretty much it. And we can also see admin username automation over here. So yeah, we can't even connect to this either. So let's go here, and if we click connect, I think we should get an error. Public IP is null, and unable to install. Well, all this type of errors coming, so we don't really have permissions to do this. But yeah, let's enumerate some groups of this user. First, we'll start off with using the GUI. Over here, we can write our user. And we see that there's one assigned role, one applications, one group membership. Let's go ahead and check each one of this out. Starting with application, nothing here. Groups, default directory, nothing special. And assigned roles, we see there's nothing really special for this user. And we can note the object ID as well, the username and all of that. Let's go ahead and check Entra ID for any permissions. So we can go here and click on view profile or view account, and then we can go to my groups here. And we see that there's one group which we own, which is called device admin. And if we go to groups I am in, it's the default directory. So nothing special here, but going back here, we can see device admin. Clicking this, we find that the description says allows resources to be assigned to desktop support team. And the members, there's no members, but the owner is us. So what we can do is we can add ourselves as a member, and we should be able to access resources that the desktop support team can also access. So this is one way of enumerating or finding out if we have any groups that we own. Another way we can do is using the command line, and I'll show you that way as well. Let's go to user, users information, group membership, not this, resources owned, this is it. We can connect using mggraph. And we can use this command called get mg user owned objects to find objects that we owned. And we'll notice that there is one object with this ID over here. And I use ChatGPT to find out a script that we can run to find the name of this object. And just pasting this over here, you guys could also use ChatGPT. It's probably always going to work for this. And yeah, the display name, again, it's device admins, the ID, and we have the description over here as well. And a third way of doing this is using recon, ROADrecon. So let's go ROADrecon over here. Yup. So let's go ahead and run this. I kind of wanted to use this. So let's go ROADrecon. Scripts activate. Go here. ROADrecon authentication device code. Let's copy this. Let's copy this code. So now that that's going to be taken care of, you have signed in, we can go ahead and do ROADrecon gather. And it's just doing its stuff. So then we can do ROADrecon GUI.exe. Let's go to this area, users, groups, We don't really see anything, and it's probably because I have to use that database, which do not use in production, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, okay. I will have to use this on my Linux, because we've got to connect that database. I just want to check it out if this worked on here. So let's go ahead and just close this, and we can go ahead and just remove .ROADrecon. Perfect. I'm also going to deactivate this, and we can go to my Linux machine. I think it's going to be opt. Nope, it's going to be tools. Azure Red Team. Actually, I think it's already installed. I don't need to do anything. I think I used pip for this. Okay, so it's not here. Scripts, MFA, not here. Wow, okay. Didn't see this. There it is, okay. And I believe it's source bin activate. Yep. And we can go ahead and do ROADrecon over here. Copy selection. Oops, now I know my issue that or the mistake that I did. Let's deactivate this. And let's do sudo s ROADrecon authentication device code. Ah, what is going on with me today? Source bin activate. There we go. And perfect. Now we can do ROADrecon gather. Great. ROADrecon. I believe it's GUI. That's it. Open link. I'm gonna close this. Okay. You can go ahead and find our user. What is our user's name again? It's a Matt. Yeah. Right over here, and we can go to owned objects, and we'll see that device admin is over here, and we can click this and find more detail about it, such as the object ID, which will be useful. And yeah, that is pretty much it. Just to note that I think you might have to run a database for this as well. I don't know if this command runs it automatically, the neo4j database as well. I'm not sure about that. I think it was in the lab guide, but yeah, I think this should be good enough. I don't know why it didn't work on my own host machine, but this was all actually my first time actually trying that. I was just curious about it. But yeah, moving on. So he is in that group, and we can continue from there. So now let's add us to that group. The first way we can do that is through this, just click this, members, and we can add ourselves to that. The other way we can do it is, let's go to my notes, or not here. So, we can do it with two commands. The more preferable one is the PowerShell, Azure PowerShell command. And this one, this is also an alternative option apparently, but I couldn't get this command to work, which requires the Microsoft Graph one. So this is the one that is mentioned in the, what do you call it? Why, damn, my brain's dead. In the walkthrough. So here we have the group object ID, which is right over here. This is what we found over here as well. Let's scroll up. Right over this ID over here. And then we have our object ID, which we can find over here, right here. So yeah, we can do this command, but I'm going to show you guys a different way of doing this. This is using, how do you do it? What's it called? Graph runner. So let's import the modules from graph runner, module graph runner. All right, and let us do, what is it called? Let's go to graph runner wiki, graph wiki, and let's see, where was it? Let's first authenticate. Let's get the graph token. That's probably a good start. Looks like you already have your token. Do you want to authenticate again? Yes. And let us do this. Copy this. Paste it over here and close this tab. And perfect. That should work. And we can continue looking for the command that we need, which is, I think it's in this. Invoke add group members right over here. This is another way we can do it, and this is the way that I am going to show you guys. So we got our access token, and we need our group ID, which is right over here. And the user ID is, actually, I'm just going to go AZ account show. And put this here. Okay, yeah, sorry. I think we have to change this and use the object ID. Where is it? This. Go ahead and do this. And it worked. And to confirm that, we can go ahead and just refresh this. Go to members. And we are now a member of this. So going to this now, let's check the resources we have access to. Let's go all resources. Alright, so it's not taking effect right away. I will actually log out and log back in. Maybe that should work. If it does not, then it sometimes takes a while for this to take effect. It's probably going to ask me for the password. Alright. All resources. Okay, so we have all the resources here. Again, we could have done this using AZ resource list. Oops, I think I might have to log out and log back in. AZ logout. Let's do that again to confirm. Perfect. Let's just go all the way to the top. Perfect. And there we go. So yep, it shows everything. Now the main thing we want to check is this device new, which is a key vault. It's probably going to have a secret. We have a network interface, which is probably attached to this virtual machine, and the public IP as well. So if we go to the virtual machine now, it's probably going to be populated with all the public IPs that we couldn't see before. And there it is, the public IP. It also says over here that the network, this automate 01641 whatever interface is being used, public IP, and this is probably going to just tell us the public IP as well. Activity, and there we go, IP. So the first thing to note is the IP address. We can also check the IP using a command over here. Let's go to key vaults and copy this correctly, paste this. Oh, sorry, wrong thing. I'm talking about IPs, not key vaults yet. So public IP. This is for virtual machine IP. I think if we run this now, it will show us it. I'll go ahead and demonstrate that as well. So 5, and we can change this to automate 01. Scrolling up. Is it not here? It's weird. Let me just take another look. No worries. We can go on and get okay, this is the command to use to list IP addresses. Do one here, and we can change this to automate 01. And there we go, we got the IP over here. And yeah, quite the information. So yeah, I'm pretty sure if you go here, I want to check something out. If you go to JSON view and click this, you may be able to find the IP in here as well. Nope. Alright then, no worries. Just close this out. And we can also use PowerShell, public IP, name, research group, same thing. Yeah, that's about it for this. Let's go ahead and run an nmap against this. And the one that we want to check is port 22 open for SSH, since we did see that SSH is being implemented. So nmap, sure, we can just put a pn, why not? We can copy this and paste it. Actually, no, I also want to do port 22. And we see it's open, so that is a good sign. Let's go ahead and see our key vault. So again, 2 ways we can do it. Number 1 is just go here, objects, secret, keys, and certificates. We can see each one of these. Nothing here, and secret should have this. User automation, that's the type, current version. And we can see over here, it says the user automation as well, and the secret value here is the private key. So we can go here and copy this and just do, not in this directory, but call it key.sh. Paste this in here and save it. And do Shimon 400 key.ssh. We got to give it the right permissions. And before we connect to this, let me also show you how to do this using key vaults. This command. So we can go ahead and just do this over here. Let me first show you all the resources. Perfect. And this vault name is what? Device new. And I think you change this to value, and you put this as a name, automate 01. Nope, okay, what is wrong? What did I do wrong? Name, query, value, oops, secret show. That is my mistake, I keep making the same mistake. So not list, we're not listing anything. You have to show it. And there we go, not amazingly formatted, but it is what it is. So So, like there's a lot of new lines over here. This is, yeah. But yeah, that's pretty much it over there. Is there a way to format this in a better way? I do not know. But yeah, go ahead, play around with this. Maybe ChatGPT will have something. Or you can just paste this actually in ChatGPT and they'll probably give you the right way or the format corrected. I'm pretty sure it'll work. But yeah, let's log in using SSH, I key, and automation, and the IP is going to be this. Now, if you have any experience with enumerating Linux and all of that, machines or doing a bunch of hack the boxes, you probably know that a common or very common thing to do at the start is look at the bash history. Usually in CTFs you find this with it empty because you know, it's being cleared always, but in this case it's not, so we can just do cat and .bash underscore history, and we find a login credential of Serene or Serene and their password. So we can go ahead and log in with this user. I'm going to do AZ logout. And we'll just log in like that. Great, we're logged in. Let's list the resources that this user can access. And we have two resources, automation accounts, and automation accounts can contain a bunch of automation stuff such as runbooks. So this is this runbook is a part of this, and it's called schedule VM start and stop. So let's do some enumeration on this. We go to my run automation accounts and runbook area, and we can see an automation account is a container for automation resources. It stores and manages runbooks, which is scripts that do automation, credentials, certificates, variables, modules. It's like a workspace where you define and run your automation logic. A runbook is a script that performs a task, and it could be PowerShell and stuff like this. So let's list some of the things or details in this runbook. Let me just copy this, paste it here. Get AZ automation runbook. This should get, let's see, object reference. Oops, this command is PowerShell, Azure PowerShell. So the best thing we should do is obviously connect to this then. AZ account. That's what we should do. And this is our user. And we have an error for some reason. Did that not work? Let's check it out. Use device authentication. Let's try this method. And I'm tempted to redo this again. I'm going to try it like that. Put this in here. Sign in. Continue. Come on. Let me just press enter. And I think it worked correctly. The only, let's do a get resources. Resource, no tenant found in context, which is quite strange why this is not working. Okay, so I'm going to try to fix this error a bit later, but for now we can just use Linux. Just go ahead and use this. I think there's something wrong with my modules installed. It's always an issue with these stupid commands, I swear to God. But let's go ahead and yeah, just do connect AZ account. And we can use this, copy this, and it worked. Get AZ resource, and there we go. So let's go ahead and run this command over here, and I believe it should get some information on the name, which is schedule VM start, and we can see that it's using PowerShell over here, runbook type PowerShell 72. Let's go ahead and also check if there's credentials on here. Get AZ automation credentials. Let's see what this command does. And it shows us that the description, it's using a default automation credentials. And the username is devauto. And yeah, that is pretty much it. That's all it gives us for now. But the other thing we can check is the actual script that's in there. So to do that, we can use this command, which is export AZ automation runbook, the resource group name, the automation account name, which is this automation account name, and then the name, which is this. This is the actual name of the runbook, as we can see over here as well. It's the name of the runbook. And yeah, and just output that, put a dot there. And we can go ahead and open, actually I'll just do it over here. Let me just do deactivate, do cd, probably not the right user, but go ahead, exit this, and cat, what is this called? Schedule. And yeah, this is the script that it runs, and there is no credentials in here. So the other thing that we can do is see environment or automation variables. And as noted here in Azure Automation, variables are typically used to store values that can be reused across multiple runbooks. So let's go ahead and use this get AZ automation variables, resource name, automation account name, and we can get name, value, and description. Error occurred while sending request. Why did this happen? Error occurred while sending request. That is strange. Let me just check if I'm still connected. Source. Okay, now it worked. So yeah, it worked now, and we can see that there's a value over here, and there's a flag, and that is the flag. So that's pretty much it for this CTF or lab. And yeah, take care guys, and have a nice day.